Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite things about living in Miami, and that is called Miami Spice, also known as Miami's Restaurant Month, or really Restaurant Months, because it's for 2 months straight every year, every August and September. Miami also does Spa Month, by the way, every July and August. Same thing, they do it for 2 months straight. Now, you're probably thinking, why are there all these deals throughout the summer in Miami and for such a long period of time as well? I know other major cities like New York do Restaurant Week, and I'm sure there are other cities that do Restaurant Month. But here in Miami, it's 2 months straight. And again, there's also the whole spa month thing for 2 months straight. So, what is that about? The thing is, unlike most places, the low the low tourism season here in Miami is the summer. In the winter here, tourism season, it hits a peak because the weather here in the winter is so amazing. It's sunny and warm, but not too hot typically. Whereas the summers here in Miami are kind of rough, very humid. It's a tropical climate, unpleasantly hot even. And as a consequence, most people know better than to come to Miami to visit Miami in the summer. As a result, you have all these local businesses that have a harder time in the summer here. And so that's when they try to attract the local audience, the local residents. And they do this through discounted deals basically at spas in July and August, and then at restaurants, local restaurants in August and September. Now, what's really great about Miami Spice is that it's super organized. So they have a website dedicated to it, and typically it's the same restaurants every year, unless, of course, a new restaurant pops up that wants to participate. But you can literally go on the website and sift through by neighborhood in Miami, depending on where you live, where you hang out, and find out which restaurants are participating and even see what their Miami Spice menus are. The way it works is it's $35 for lunch and brunch deals. And then there are dinner deals. Typically, the more high end restaurants do a $60 dinner, and more like mid tier restaurants will do a $45 dinner. And it's always an appetizer, a meal, and dessert that are all included for that price package. So, depending on what cuisine you like, what food options you like, you can find some pretty fantastic deals and just keep going back to that restaurant over and over. And for some of the more high end restaurants, $60 is a pretty great deal considering typically these pairings together, meaning like that appetizer with that meal with that dessert, could cost well over $100. Now, if you're local to Miami or visiting Miami during this period, a few things you should make note of. First off, these participating restaurants don't always do it every single day of the week. So make sure you do your research to find out when they offer this. A lot of these restaurants, especially the trendier restaurants, will only do this on weeknights because they, I guess, don't need as much clientele on the weekends. Like they already have enough clientele on the weekends, so they don't want to offer these deals on the weekends. So make sure you do your research, because that's happened to me in the past, that I just rolled up thinking on a Friday night that this cool restaurant offers this deal, and they were like, no, it's only Monday through Thursday or whatever. The other thing is, during this period, if you're at a restaurant, make sure to ask if they have a Miami Spice menu. When in doubt, just ask, because one thing that's kind of odd that's been evolving over time here, I've noticed, and I have friends who have had the same observation. A lot of restaurants don't promote that they have Miami Spice deals during this period. I guess because the food options are so much cheaper, it's such a better deal. If they get enough foot traffic with hungry, customers, they don't necessarily want to promote it, which is very interesting to me. So make sure to ask proactively, even if you go to a restaurant with the intention of going for Miami Spice. Don't be thrown off if they give you a regular menu. You have to sometimes ask for it, and then they'll give you, kind of like a secret menu. So what I've been doing this August at the time that I'm making this video is every week I pick a weeknight to go to one of these restaurants participating in Miami Spice. And that way I ensure that they're doing this deal that day, because they typically always do it on weekdays, or weeknights rather. but also it's just calmer to go to a restaurant during the week, right? There's fewer people out and about, so it's just nice to have a calm dinner on a weeknight by myself, and I have a feast all by myself. If you're local to Miami or you happen to have visited during Miami Spice, let me know in the comments of any deals, any restaurants that you went to that you really enjoyed going to, or some that you were like, this was totally overrated. I compared to the regular menu and it really isn't that much of a steal. I found that there's quite a variety. There are some restaurants where it's not really worth it, and then some where you're like, oh my God, this is a steal. This is an amazing deal. And if you live in another city that does this, please let me know in the comments. I'm curious how this compares to other places. I know New York City has Restaurant Week, so I have to imagine that's just 1 week. But I'm curious if other major cities do something like this for an extended period of time. I've never heard of any other city doing it for 2 months straight. Let me know in the comments and catch you next time.